That's scary, right?
Oh my god!
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to a rather spooky edition of Chieftain Live. I'm Julian Hermiz.
And I'm Anthony Calcaterra. In this episode, we're going to celebrate spooky season and get your hot takes on Halloween.
Then, we'll pick up some famous PSLs, reviewing your favorite fall drinks as Luke Newman reviews this year's fall sports seasons.
My good friend Owain Braddock is going to show us all of his Mount Rushmore Halloween costumes.
And finally, I'll sit down to preview the fall play with Marion's own Tess Mirven. However, before we get into all that fun and informative content, let's look back at the big three stories in today's edition of The Chieftain.
Guess what, everyone? Halloween is here. No matter who you are, young or old, we all love a little bit of spooky season and hate being paranoid because of all the scary movies you will inevitably watch. Halloween is a holiday with the most recognizable figures in movies, cartoons, and all media platforms. Tommy Schaefer, the president himself, takes stock on the most significant Halloween icons.
If you're a senior or seen any Rice baseball game in the last 4 years, you've probably seen the Jolly Green Giant himself, Jake Ream. Ream stands at a staggering 6'4", a pure god amongst men. As luck would have it, Halloween is one of his favorite holidays, but unfortunately for him, his height tends to get in the way of his trick-or-treating. Ream shows us all a different side of him, documenting how hard it is to trick-or-treat when you're his height.
Halloween is a great time for all. For most of us, we feel nostalgic thinking about our childhood and the great memories of Halloween when we were children. But for one of Chieftain's very own, he doesn't have very fond memories. Cole gallantly gives us his hate for Halloween and his piece explaining why he hates Halloween. And now, the top stories of the week.
Field Day this year brought out everyone's competitive spirit, but for one of our brothers, he got the brunt of that spirit. Kevin O'Brien, who has started coming back to school after a freak injury from Field Day, is recovering from intense surgery, and we'd like to wish him a speedy recovery and all the best. It's great to see you back, Kev.
Open house is quickly approaching on November 8th. We all hate bringing them home, but make sure you pick up a sign in the front office and please invite anyone who might be interested in attending our school next fall.
Recently, a few Lucky Brother Rice students were invited by the Detroit Economic Club to witness a debate between Democratic nominee Debbie Stabenow and Brother Rice alum John James. This was a high-scale event, being the second debate of the race for our senator spot.
And the really amazing thing was that when John James first came in the room, they were introducing him. And before he even was waited to be introduced, he just said, "Brother Rice!" And he walked across the room and he started shaking all of our hands. And the man on the microphone was also Brother Rice parent, Mr. Gregorian. And he said, I feel a lot of warrior love in the room today. So I felt very welcome and we felt very special to be there. Very cool.
The race has been getting closer and closer, so we wish the best of luck to our brother, John James, and his race for the Senate. If you're 18, make sure to register and vote.
This week's Tweet of the Week comes from Peter Schultz. As we all know, the football team and the tragedy of Coach Piskapink has hung heavy in our hearts for the last few months. Fortunately, we are met with some good news regarding his condition. Coach Piskapink came out of his coma and met with some of the members of the football team a few weeks ago. He has since been moved out of his hospital and into a rehab facility. We'd like to wish him all the best on his long road to recovery.
Get out your spider webs and hoard that candy, because it's finally spooky season. And for most of us, we're left on the sidelines passing out candy to the little ones. However, there's still some that stretch their trick-or-treating eligibility. Kieran McDonell gets our students Halloween hot takes to see how old is too old for trick-or-treating.
Hello everyone. As all of you know, today is Halloween. A recent poll on the Chieftain Live revealed that you are never too old to go trick-or-treating. There are many different opinions on this matter. You may think that it is okay for you to trick-or-treat, but many others may think that you are a loser.
I would say 14, because after that, you're a loser if you still trick-or-treat. That's what your little brother would do, not you. So if you're 14 and you still feel the need to dress up and go get candy in your neighborhood, there's other things to do.
Once you realize that other fantastic characters are fake, such as Santa Claus, it may be time to set down the costumes.
Well, there's two schools of thought on this. The first one is whether or not you believe in Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy. So some people may say that you should stop trick-or-treating once you know that you're not having a Santa Claus come down the chimney.
Some people may think you are never too old to go trick-or-treating, and it is a wonderful opportunity to spend with your parents.
You're never too old to go trick-or-treating. Me and my dad still go out trick-or-treating every year, get some candy, have a great time.
Once you reach a certain level in your life, you have opportunities to do other things. For some people, this may be freshman year.
I'd say probably around 15 is too old to go trick-or-treating.
There is a certain age when you should stop trick-or-treating. However, if you bring back a special treat to someone, then there is no limit to your trick-or-treating.
If you do go trick-or-treating and you get Whopper malted milk balls and you bring them to my classroom, then it's never too old to go trick-or-treat.
One of the many things that confuses myself is the obsession with fall drinks. I'm not sure why, but it seems like these drinks are all the craze. Starbucks pumpkin spice latte is the perfect example of this, as girls everywhere are heading to grab this coveted fall drink. The phenomenon stuns us here as well, as George Ngumo heads out to discover just what makes these drinks so special.
During this fall, there has been a big debate over the internet about what fall drink is the best. Many may agree with coffee, while others may go with the classical hot chocolate or even apple cider. For that reason, we decided to hit the halls to settle the argument of what's the best fall drink.
Go for a real nice apple cider.
Apple cider.
The hot apple cider.
But there's more to life than apple cider.
Black coffee. What? Because coffee's so phenomenal, it doesn't need any pumpkin spice or anything added to it.
With the good old classic hot chocolate, I find it to be a personal favorite of mine. It's nice and smooth, rich. It's got all the things you're looking for in a fall beverage.
I like the pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks.
My favorite fall drink is a peppermint mocha. Chocolate is amazing and it reminds me of Christmas.
As you can see, the faculty and students each had a special drink that they thought was the best for fall and a reason why. But there's no denying that apple cider is one of the best. For that reason, we asked our very own Chieftain Live staff to do a taste test of Franklin Mills apple cider.
Well, it's really good for sore throats because that's what I have right now.
It's got an unbelievably aged taste to it. It's hitting me right where I need it to.
I have to say the blend of the sugar and the ripeness of the apples really makes it really exquisite.
As the school year goes on, it's getting colder and colder. And with the change in weather also comes a shift in the sports seasons. Fall sports are coming to a close, with many bright lights, highlight plays, and hopefully some magic playoff runs. Our own football stud, Luke Newman, recaps all the highlights from the fall sports seasons.
Fall sports teams start to wrap up their seasons. We talked to some of the leaders of the football, tennis, soccer, and cross-country teams to recap their regular season highlights as well as their aspirations moving forward. Coming off a strong season, a very experienced Brother Rice cross-country team is revved up to be making some noise heading into states.
We've been doing pretty good. All of us have gotten all new PRs, personal records, if you don't know what that is. We got our freshman class coming in. They're all looking really good. So overall, it's been a pretty good year. We hope to do well at Catholic Leagues, regionals, down a man, Kevin O'Brien, after an incident involving his jaw. So
this past week, the cross-country team placed second at regionals, looking to carry on this momentum on to states this week. As the football team wraps up at 6-3, primed to make a run at their 11th state title, we talked to senior defensive end Max Saylor to give us his take on the team moving forward in the playoffs.
We haven't been able to beat Penn in my time here, so going down to their field and beating them was probably the highlight of the season. State championship, plain and simple.
Last week, our Warrior football team picked up a huge win, upsetting the number 1 seed in the district, the Livonia Churchill Chargers. looking for another win this week in an epic rematch against our little brother, Birmingham Groves. Up at States, our Warrior tennis team managed to capture second place in the Division I state championship, as well as claiming the number 2 singles state champion.
So we started off the season pretty strong. We won the Novi tournament, and we were doing pretty well in some other quads. Then we beat CC, which is our arch rival, and we beat Cranbrook in the Catholic Leagues because they won last year, so we took back our throne.
Despite falling short in the district championship to Cranbrook, our Warrior soccer team had a fantastic season, beating crosstown rival Seahome and CC.
I mean, we beat CC on our field this year, which was huge. We've played some pretty good games. We also beat Seahome in our first game of the season, that was a big win for us.
Spooky, scary season. Halloween's coming up quick. For all of you procrastinators who still haven't got a costume for today's event, Owain Braddock yet again presents the Mount Rushmore Halloween costumes.
Today's Halloween. I know a lot of you are trying to scramble to find the best Halloween costume you can find. I'm here to give you my Mount Rushmore Halloween costumes. Coming in at number 4, we have the clown. Now, I'm not talking about funny clowns. I'm talking about scary clowns. Everybody's scared of clowns, even me. It's a fact. If you're trying to make somebody hate you, dress up as a clown and scare them. That will make them hate you. Coming in at number 3, we have Mustard. Now, this one's a little bit weird, I know. But if you're trying to win a Halloween costume, show up as something unique. Like Mustard. No one else is going to show up as Mustard. You're guaranteed to win here. Mustard is always a go-to. At number 2, we have the blow-up dinosaur. This one's made a lot famous by pop culture recently and all these memes. It's going to be a hot take. But if you want to fit in, you want to be one of the cool kids, show up as a blow-up dinosaur. The people love you. It's funny, it's comical, it's a go-to. Now, right now, the best Halloween costume you could buy, it's the gorilla kidnapping the human. Now, we've all seen Planet of the Apes. It's based off a futuristic real world that's going to happen in our generation. Might as well get used to it and be this for Halloween. That's my Mount Rushmore Halloween costumes.
One of the most underrated extracurriculars between Rice and Marion has to be MRP. Last year, the Marion Rice players had massive success in showing You Can't Take It With You and The Little Mermaid, and we expect the same Showtime magic coming on November 15th to 18th with Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. In order to preview the play and get an insider's look at everything the lead roles entail, I'm here with MRP member and Marion student Tess Mervent. Tess, welcome to the show.
Thank
it's a
you.
pleasure to have you on. So, what is A Midsummer Night's Dream about?
It's a classic Shakespeare show about 4 lovers who go into the woods. And there are fairies in the woods who enchant the 4 lovers and kind of screw everything up. It's more of like a comedy than a drama, but it's really enjoyable to watch once you understand what's happening.
Interesting. So, who are some of the breakout stars that we could expect to see?
Well, I think everyone's working really hard to make this the best show they possibly can. I'm actually very impressed. We have so many freshmen.
How many freshmen?
This year? I think 4 or 5. One of them even has a lead role, Titania.
Oh, awesome.
And we're just really excited to have them because we love when new people come in and show us what they can do. So honestly, I think it's going to be a good show.
And so you're a very experienced member at MRP.
Yes.
So you've been through a series of what's been called Tech Weeks, I've heard. Yeah. So for our viewers that don't know, what are Tech Weeks and what do you anticipate being the last hurdle for this show to come together?
Well, Tech Week is the last week of our rehearsal process when all of the crews and the cast come together for like a week in the theater to try to make the show like cohesive and bring everything together for
just kind of get the kinks out. Yeah,
the best show we can possibly perform. And for this show specifically, I think incorporating all of the different lights and sets into this show because it's going to be very complex with all like the woods. We have night and daytime.
So in the past, there's also been these things called previews where Rice students come over, watch a few scenes, come back. So is that going to be something that happens again this year?
Yes, I do believe we're doing a Rice preview. We're just going to be doing at least like 1 or 2 acts. We have 5 acts, but like they're not super long.
Yeah.
So it'll be like 1 or 2, and it'll be quick, but like try to give you a synopsis or get you to come see the show because it's going to be good. And yeah, you guys can all come over.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you all the best in November.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. If you're looking for a great night, guys, you can purchase tickets by visiting the website on the screen or risk it and purchase tickets at the door. So make sure you show up and enjoy the show. So that's it for this episode of Chieftain Live. As always, I'm Julian Hermiz, and have a safe and awesome Halloween. We'll see you next time.